Ready? All right. Hello, everyone. This is Stephanie Swift with Allied Universal Security Services on behalf of the IFMA PR and Marketing Committee. I'm here virtually with Dr. Jacob Kashiwagi, who was recently named one of the Phoenix Business Journal's 40 Under 40 for 2020. And thank you so much, Jacob, for allowing us the pleasure to interview you for our member spotlight.
Thank you for having me be here.
So our first question is, where are you from?
I'm actually from Mesa, Arizona.
Wow.
I was born and pretty much raised here. My father, Dr. Dean Kashiwagi, he was in the Air Force for the first 10 years of my life. So I moved around quite a bit all across the nation, but we came here and settled down.
That's great that you ended up back. It's always nice to meet some people who are local. So how do you support the FM profession?
So currently, I'm the IFMA Greater Phoenix chapter's secretary and treasurer. But as per my profession, really my main focus is helping FMs to utilize the expertise of the FM associates. And so this involves everything from procurement, developing contracts, and project management. And we usually help FMs be able to make their processes more efficient and higher performing.
That's really great. I know that IFMA really appreciates all that you do. How long have you been in your industry?
Believe it or not, I've actually been in the industry for about 17 years now.
Wow.
I started pretty young.
And what is the best advice you have been given that has helped you in your career?
The best advice. I think the best advice I was given is kind of a little quote. And it goes, things that don't change remain the same. And it's a very common sense type of thing. If you don't change anything, everything will remain the same. But in my career, it's helped me and focused me on realizing if I want to be better, if I don't like what I'm doing, something has to change. And I think it really has directed me and helping me to always improve and become better at what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's very simple, but it really hits home. Thank you. So here's a fun one. What is your favorite food?
Now, this is an easy question for me. My favorite food is white rice, Japanese rice. And I will eat that as my main meal. Everything else is a side dish for me, but the rice is what I like.
Do you make it yourself?
I do.
Excellent. So what is one thing about you that most people don't know besides that you love white rice?
Now, one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is I have a park named after me in my family.
Wow, where is that?
It's actually right by my home where I live in Mesa. Growing up, I used to gather all the neighborhood kids and we would play, first we'd play capture the flag and then ultimate frisbee at this park. And it became known as Kashiwagi Stadium or Park. And one of the youth that played with us became a lawyer and found a city statute saying that if a location is known by a certain name, the city has an obligation to name it that. Wow. And he petitioned the city and got it named Kashiwagi Park.
What a great story, and that'll live on in your family forever. That's really great.
Yes.
So our next question is, what do you feel IFMA can focus on to improve the industry?
You know, I think there's two things. The first is if the industry focuses on actual performance information. And on the FM side, this is measuring and documenting the performance of their vendors and tracking the performance information of their facilities, as well as asking for that in hiring vendors on their actual performance information instead of a lot of marketing or a lot of verbiage. I think it would actually improve the quality of services in the industry and give those people who are really good at what they do a better chance at getting more projects to be able to perform in. The second thing is focusing on the younger generation.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think those are two very good points, and I think that the student chapter is a good way to continue to get the younger generation involved.
Definitely.
So, why did you join the Greater Phoenix chapter of IFMA?
You know, in talking about the student chapter, that's one of the main reasons I joined IFMA. So I was working at Arizona State University, and the person who introduced me was my father, Dr. Dean Kashiwagi, who also is an IFMA fellow. So I really didn't have much of a choice here.
You're doing
But
this.
but I started out in mentoring the student chapter. And I had such a great time doing that. And in working with the students and then in working with the IFMA Greater Phoenix chapter, I got exposed to a lot of the great people who are FMs in the area and are part of the chapter. And I've been a member ever since.
It really is a nice group. I hope we can all get together soon.
Yes.
So next question is, what is the most challenging project you have taken on for facility manager?
I think the most challenging was when we started to do research with the Army Medical Command.
No.
They have 20 plus sites, hospital sites all over the world. And the political environment in there, because there's so many people involved, there's literally hundreds of people involved in their repair and renovation projects for their hospitals, dealing with engineers, quality assurance people, quality control, then dealing with contractors and FMs and upper FM management. And you have multiple different organizations dealing with the procurement and then dealing with the management of the contractors. It was probably the roughest thing or the toughest project that I think I have taken on in trying to help an FM increase their performance and efficiency in their projects.
Wow, that does sound complicated, and it worked out in the end.
It did. It was a great research project, and in the end, it ended up saving a lot of time and money. So it was great.
Excellent. So what about your favorite place in the world?
This is also an easy question for me, because there's only one other place other than my home that I really would like to go, and that's Hawaii.
Oh.
And so I probably don't have to explain why it's my favorite place in the world, but I actually grew up there in terms of all of my relatives are there.
Oh, okay.
And so from when I was a child, I would go to Hawaii at least once a year. And I'd eat the food. I actually don't even like to swim. But I got to go there and hang out with my relatives and a lot of good friends there. And so when I go back to Hawaii, I don't only enjoy the environment, but it's like going home to me almost. So
That sure is a nice place to have all of your relatives.
it's true.
So when you were chosen for the 40 under 40, what did they specifically choose you for?
You know, I'm not quite sure. In fact, I was nominated by one of my PhD students
Okay.
that I helped and I worked with, and I still work with very closely in the nonprofit organization that he developed. It's actually Dr. Jake Gano, who also spoke at one of the IFMA Worldwide conferences as speaker and was very involved in the chapter. But he actually he sent in my nomination. And he probably said everything good about me. So that's probably, from his well-written verbiage, that's probably why they selected me.
Well, yeah, your company is very, very good, your mission. And
yes. I suspect maybe one of the main criteria was the outreach in the community and how much service you do. I donate a lot of time to the Leadership Society of Arizona in helping to try to mentor the youth, high school and junior high school age youth, and developing leadership skills. And so that might be one of the reasons.
Yes, and you could tell you're very passionate about helping the younger generation.
I really enjoy it. I think it's because I'm a kid at heart. So
good. Well, that's a good way to be. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you, and we just really appreciate your membership in IFMA and you taking time to make this video for our PR marketing committee.
No, thank you so much. And thank you so much for recognizing me. It's an honor.
Excellent. Well, have a great time, everyone, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.